All right, so we're gonna install the TaZer from ZAutomotive. Now, this 2021 Scat Pack has most of the options that this thing offers, and being a manual transmission, there's a bunch of things that I actually can't take advantage of, but there's still a cool few extra things, like putting the car into sport mode by default, the auto windows down, even something as simple as changing the splash screen on startup, like little stuff, but figure I'll give it a shot. Now, because it is a 2018 or newer, I can't just plug this right into the OBD2 port because we need to do some bypassing of things thanks to extra security from Dodge. So we have our double bypass here. This is what the TaZer will plug into on one side, and then we've got a few things that we've got to deal with. So we've got a little fuse here that's got a pass through for another fuse that I'm going to pull. All right, we've got these two that we have to plug into the bus, which I'm going to show you where that's in a second. And of course, ground, right? Super important stuff. Now, this is all, as you can see here, in the trunk, right? Because that's where our battery is. That's where our second fuse box is, which is kind of dark, but it's right back here. And if we follow this cable up and we look underneath here, that is the box right there that we've got to work in. So I'm going to get a little bit more light. I'm going to lower my seat and we will check out what has to come next. So this is what happens when you do things at night. So better look here. There's the fuse box now. And now you can see that there. That's where we're going to start plugging some stuff into. All right, we got to pop out these clips here and here on the sides, other two side there. All right, first we've got to pop out the little clip on the mat. So let me swing around and show you what's going to happen next. Okay, so step number one, right, if you're going to do work in your car, you probably should have one of these pullers for this thing. Otherwise, you just pull the carpet out from around it. Or if you're like me, you break a bunch of them. Thankfully, I needed 2 of them, and Amazon had a bag of 600, so I can break a whole bunch more. All right, we pop this off here just by leaning this little piece out, and it pops right off. All right, it's really tough to do one-handed, but I can get a screwdriver in there, perhaps. All right, we know how this goes, where we end up spending more time looking for our stuff than actually doing any work here. All right, so pop that out, comes up, and I'll get the other one off. All right, there we go. Dodge is not famous for cable management, unfortunately, so this is the mess that we have to deal with. And for whatever reason, we've got the white bus with the green plugs and the green bus with the white plugs. So here you go. Simple enough, right? Green plug, white plug, problem solved, at least on this. So you have to just kind of like lift this up a little bit. See here, get this out of the way, lift this up, just bend it up enough to get that plugged in, and you'll be all set. Here we go. All right, so both of these are plugged in, and now we're going to follow this all back down the other way and get some power to all of this. We've got signal, and we're going to get power. All right, so we're going back into the trunk where the fuse box and this little grounding nut at the back. Let's go look. Okay, so take the fuse box cover off. On this side here, there's a little button. Push it in. See, you can see it pops out on the bottom. Push this in, and that unclips very easily. And inside the cover, we have a couple of things that we need. So, yellow fuse puller, super important. And we're going to be looking for fuse 37. So that's the radio fuse. So if we just get some good light here, fuse 37, you can see radio. You probably can't see it in the video, but it's right there, kind of towards the bottom 2/3 of this row here. And fuse 37 is in this second row, this long row here, 38 at the end, 37 is right before it. So if we come back over here, is that longer row. Sticks out. That's 38. That's 37. That is a 20 amp fuse. We're going to need to pull that out. That's your radio fuse, and what are we going to do with it? So we have this here that they give to us. Again, with the light here. Okay, and there are two spots here. So one spot is for a 5 amp fuse that they give you. We'll just get that in there. And then the other one is where the 20 amp fuse is going to go. Okay. And then we're going to put it right back in where we took the fuse out from. So now we got the radio fuse back in, and we've got our double bypass fuse, all right, coming up to this whole wire here. So if we just take this, look, we can just shove this in nice and tight in there, out the side, not bothering anybody. And just make sure you get it out that port there, and we're clipped back in. Okay, one last piece. This here, got to get this ground on that there. So there's a little 10 millimeter. Let me go get a 10 millimeter socket, loosen this up, put this little Y fork on there, tighten it back up, and that is the end of the road, aside from just plugging it in to here actually. And the nice thing is here, this gets covered by the rug, tucked out of the way, and we don't actually have to have it hanging out of our OBD2 port in the front of the car. So, gonna get a socket, loosen that up, and put it on. And then why would I be able to find my 10 millimeter socket? And I can't, but thankfully, I bought a shaker, and they give you the shaker tool, which also happens to be 10 millimeters. So, here we go. This would be much better if it was a ratchet, but what are you going to do? Okay. We're just going to loosen this guy up. There you go. Plenty of room in there. So, where's my ground? Here we go. Check it out. Let's just slide that right. Just like that. Okay. And grab my shaker tool. Tighten it right back down. See, it's turning. Got a good grip on it. Okay. I'm gonna tighten that right down. Okay, so quick recap here, right? We've got our ground wire in here. We've got the fuse tap under the box there. This runs all the way up for the green and white that we put in there onto the bus, and we are good to go. So here's the TaZer, and here is double bypass. That's it. We're in. We have TaZer power. Cool. All right, I'm gonna fire this up, get some cool features happening, and maybe I'll show you guys what that's like. Thank you for sticking around. I know that was shaky. Sorry about all that. Oop, gotta put my fuse puller back. But you know, the trunk is not a level space for this GoPro, so it is time for something better, I guess. All right, that's the story. I will do these in the daytime with better stability. All right, thanks so much.